Welcome to an all new So Bad It's Good Monday episode. That means pop culture roundup. And we gracefully, thankfully have the one and only Sophie Ross back with us because we have so much to cover this week. If you are watching this on YouTube, Sophie has a whole background now. She's all in this denim outfit. She just admitted to having a couple brewskis. Sophie, what's going on?
Hi, I finally have a desk, you guys. For everyone that has complained about me having laundry behind me, sitting on the couch, laying down in a sports bra, I have a real professional desk now. This is the Cloffice. It's still a work in progress, but I finally have a desk. So, this is big for me.
Do you share this desk with your boyfriend? Is this his Cloffice as well?
It's my Cloffice. But his desktop, his keyboard, mouse, yeah.
Sophie, what were you doing before this? You had a couple of brewskis. Were you out and about in the city, like a summer house?
I actually had a really productive day, and our new apartment is right by the Williamsburg Bridge, so we actually ended up walking over the Williamsburg Bridge, and then my boyfriend is a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers, I think they're called. And I guess it's like a big NBA playoff game. So we went to this bar and watched the game for a little bit. And I had some brewskis and you know what? I'm just letting loose today.
You are living life. I love it. But I love it. I love when you're living, like I'm living vicariously through you right now. But I do have to ask you one question that I need your answer of, did you know Tom Sandoval and Raquel in jacuzzi? Did you? That's my Ken. That's Ken just stumbling. Did you know Tom Sandoval had a jacuzzi party with Raquel?
The editors, first of all, need either an Emmy or a Golden Globe for this.
It really is getting to a point where it's like, this is artistic now. It is so artistically.
And it was like fast forward. And then it shows Ken fast forward of him walking out. He just comes in, drops the bomb, walks out.
He's shuffling. He's like each step is Did you know Tom
Sandoval? It's like what Lisa, obviously, I know that we've all had plenty of time to commiserate and talk about this, but the fact that it clearly Lisa told him to say that and then just walk out, and then Katie was pretending to be shocked. Katie was like, what?
He goes, Ken, if you could just come in and say just one line, we'd so appreciate it. Because then he drops the bomb and he goes, oh, come on, Marky, let's go. Let's go, Marky, the dog. He's like, come on, let's go. He just drops the bomb and goes back to doing whatever he does at that Villa Rosa house. It's amazing.
Villa Rosa house. So what does he do at that house?
I think he just plugs himself into the computer and recharges or something. But by the way, I do want to point out, what Sophie mentioned is correct. Everybody wants to say all of this shit is fake. And it's okay, but you can actually point to things that are that to me. That's staged. That is obviously staged. That is how reality shows are sometimes pieced together.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Obviously, they have to stage some scenes. It's not going to be the most organic, amazing thing when you're just living life. I don't know. It makes sense, obviously. And obviously this season, the drama is real. It's just for little scenes like that. Yeah.
Well, and by the way, that's not even just for this season. That's reality shows in general from the very beginning. I mean, and by the way, if this hadn't have come out, we would have still been on the Schwartz Raquel tip, which was kind of a joke in itself because Schwartz and Raquel were kind of by the way, they're giggling through their entire scenes because Schwartz and Raquel both know the secret about Sandoval. So if you watch their scenes, they're giggling like a bunch of idiots, not even realizing that it's so hurtful towards Ariana. I mean, it really is gripping in a whole nother way that we don't get to usually watch reality shows from.
Yeah, I'm confused because Raquel's birthday, by the way, during the episode, I asked Alexa, I was like, when is Raquel Levis's birthday? And it was September something, 1994. So this all is happening in September.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how everyone was so shocked about the affair when clearly everyone was talking about it back in September.
Okay, so this is, I think I have a little bit of an answer for you. So it was thrown out there time and time again, but with the way that friendship worked, like she truly was there all of the time, just like Ariana's friend Logan was, and Logan was good friends with Raquel as well. Like they really do hang in these kind of packs. Like
Right.
Scheana and Brock are those people as well. And if you're being told by Sandoval and Raquel and Ariana hung out so much as well, that it was kind of that silly thing. Like when I first heard about this, I thought it was completely ridiculous because I had seen them all together and I was like, no, Tom Sandoval used like the way he got all boned up. He was like, Raquel, you're so awesome. You're coming into your own. He was like shaking with excitement. I've seen him do that. I've seen him do that to me. Like I've seen him be like, your podcast, dude, it's so good, dude. I think, like he just like, so I would see that and be like, yeah, it's a little weird, but I wouldn't, just the type of person he was, it wouldn't set off alarm bells. And for me, that's where, but I will say they did start to have, Lala was clearly on to this, but like Lala was even having a hard time convincing DJ James Kennedy about it because DJ James Kennedy was mad about Schwartz.
And the way that Katie was trying to like tell Ariana about
it.
And
Ariana, in a gentle way.
Ariana went so hard for Tom and for Raquel. And like that has to be embarrassing for her to watch back.
But Sophie, isn't that what we're supposed to do in relationships is go hard for our partners because we trust
absolutely.
them?
Absolutely. Because you're supposed to trust them. Like I can understand why she felt that way. And Scheana went hard for Raquel. Like everyone genuinely trusted her.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, that's why it's so funny. It's like when you actually trust somebody, and Ariana said it earlier in the season when it was regarding that like making out with Schwartz in that scene with Katie said, I didn't know you had it in you, Raquel, in regards to, wanting to kiss Schwartz and saying it in front of Katie. Ariana even said in that moment, and I think she was even shocked. But I mean, the true question mark for me is who Raquel is at this point. And she's the
like
smartest
sociopath.
Like she's being quiet. She's
like you can't read her, but the way she was like, these are my forever friends. And it's like, not anymore, clearly, first of all. And oh my God, it's just, she's such a creepy sociopath. And next week, in the preview for next week's episode, aka this week's episode on Wednesday, she's talking to Katie, and we're getting like the Sir Alley fight with Schwartz and Katie. But she's talking to Katie and says, if you guys are divorced and I make out with Tom Schwartz, that's really none of your business.
You guys are divorced. It doesn't matter if I make out with
like her. For her to even say that is, and again, trying to like watch this season like without knowing, say hypothetically that the Scandoval never broke and we're just watching it without being tainted by that perspective of it, I would still be like, whoa, Raquel, you have some, because I know that she's kind of like, if it weren't for the Scandoval, Raquel has kind of like been the hero of the season in a way, like sticking up for herself against the mean girls. But it's like, that is like too far. Well,
see, I think we would have laughed it off of like that person that starts to stand up for themselves after they never have. And so they're bad at it and they go too hard, too quick. And I think that's where we would have. And by the way, and Terry Maloney, Katie's mom, gets into the fray and like takes down Raquel a little bit in this next week's episode, from what I'm hearing as well, which would have been the season finale. But now we have the old. By the way,
what was supposed to be the season finale?
Next week, the season finale would have been the opening of Schwartz and Sandy's. Would have been, but by the way, it wasn't really the opening. They were just doing it because Schwartz and Sandy still didn't open for like 4 more weeks after it.
It was one of their 70s soft openings.
Yeah, but they're trying to. If we could only perfect the menu, man. Like, and then he goes, I just need a B+, dude. I would kill to have a B+ on stage. What did you think of the finale trailer that got leaked this week?
Baby. Oh, I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready.
It's crazy to see what we've heard about for so long. Actually, like we see those moments. There was 2 versions, the one that got leaked and the one Bravo released. And there's one interchangeable moment between Rachel and Tom where Rachel's like, this went so horribly wrong. And then the one that was leaked that Bravo didn't officially release, Raquel and Tom are close in her apartment, and she says something. We always said if we can't. We always said if it was worth it, if we'd come forward.
We wouldn't do this if it weren't worth it. And they're like holding hands and like speaking really closely to each other. Oh my God.
And that was the first weekend all of this broke. So it's so interesting because at that moment, they still think that it's not going to be as bad as it became. Like it's still going on. And that's like 2 months ago?
Months. 2 months now, because my sister was in labor. My sister was in labor when Scandoval was breaking, which was like,
wait, did that force her into labor?
It basically did.
Scandoval is like, my water broke.
Went into labor because of Scandoval. And that was 2 months ago because my nephew just turned 2 months. So
that's how I gauge everything. Like,
I know, literally for the rest of his life. When he turns 18, I'm going to be like 18 years since Scandoval.
That's by the way. Every big event should happen on the day Scandoval broke. But anyway, like I just think we've managed to keep this excitement going for so long. I just think we need to buckle down, folks. Don't get lost in the BS of is this fake or not. Like enjoy the ride because it's going to be over in a month and a half, more. But like
we need to talk about Kristen on Watch What Happens Live. Can we talk about the fact that Watch What Happens Live episode got almost 1 million viewers.
Highest rated Watch What Happens Live of the season. Bigger than Jax, bigger than Lisa Vanderpump, bigger than Katie Maloney. The highest ratings. By the way, I still think the Schwartz one was way more exciting. But Kristen, it shows that there is a hunger for her, like, to see what she says about all of this. And we got to see her in the trailer finally at the very end. Like, are you ready?
Flip-flops. Yeah.
Could you imagine if that's like your return to TV is like, you don't even dress up. That's how much business she meant was she's like, I'll do it in flip-flops.
I know. And I love that about her.
I know. It really did endear me. I think she's coming on the show, I think this week. And I think I'm going on hers as well. And I'm really excited to talk to her about this. But what did you think of her? Did anything stand out for Watch What Happens Live for you with her on it?
What did she say that was like so funny? I can't remember. Well, she said something about Rachel. Oh, it really stuck out to me that her and James are still not on good terms at all. So it's like
people forget that she dated DJ James Kennedy.
I don't forget. I think about it every single day. I would just figure because it's been so long and they've both moved on that like they're probably just fine now, just with like how James and Raquel and I feel like, or James and Lala, I mean not James and Raquel, but like I don't know. I figure that they're in the same circle, so it's probably fine. But it's like she still hates him, and I love the game that was like suck a dick, and it's either like she had to choose between like James and Jax, and like of course she said suck a dick. But I think that's interesting, especially if she is going to come back, which again, like Watch What Happens Live averages, I feel like 100K viewers an episode.
Well, it really, it's so funny. Even if they get big name actors, very low ratings, but they have really stumbled upon their Wednesday night episodes. All Vanderpump related have been their highest ratings of the season, let alone like a bunch of seasons now put together. Like it's really found its groove, like a lot of us have because of Scandoval. And the only person still that cannot make money off of this, which we've seen this weekend in so many Instagram videos, is Tom Sandoval out on tour on the road, coming to your town. Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Did you go see his show at the Gramercy this weekend?
Yeah, I was there. Actually, I was. I had to choose between that and the Eras tour in Nashville, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna
wait.
See.
Wait, Sophie, were you at the Eras tour?
No, I wish.
Oh, I was like, oh my God, are you just coming back from the Eras tour?
No, I was not at Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras, but yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Well, it's sad, but I mean, Tracy Morrissey went to their show in Westchester or it was a couple nights ago, and she posted a bunch of Instagram stories. A lot of people are going not even because they like Tom Sandoval. They're going to do it for like Instagram, for the gram of it all. And like, would you want somebody to come to your show just to like dunk on you in social media?
But like literally all of the seats are empty. So it's like, I mean, if it gets bodies in the theater, I guess.
Really? Like, see, for me, it would break my heart, but he seems oblivious.
There was some like Facebook post I saw that ended up like on Reddit or Twitter or something. And it was some woman saying that she hosts a fundraiser every single year for, cancer. I guess her nephew had cancer and he's great
yeah.
now, but she hosts a fundraiser and she booked Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras for this fundraiser, like really quickly before, it was like soon before the Scandoval broke.
Yeah.
And now it's like no one wants to go and they can't sell tickets and it's just been a nightmare and they're not going to make the money back. They're not going to make any money for the charity.
Well, I mean, I saw he did an interview for this last week, which I put on Friday's episode because it was so awkward because he looks, more like he's lost a lot of weight. He shaved off his mustache, or Howie Mandel shaved his mustache off, which was a lot of his power. And he, was saying like, if everybody wants to come out and just enjoy a great band, dude, just then come on out, dude. It was so sad. And I hope people support this charity or maybe just buy a ticket and don't go. But it kind of takes all the power away when he does something like this. It's hard to have fun with a cover band when you're thinking about all of the pain that was like wrapped up in this. And you guys, for this tour, he rented a bunch of lighting equipment. His jacket has light up lightning bolts on it. Did you see this?
Oh my God. No, but I believe you.
And then the one thing I wanted to point out, he does a cover of Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, but he changes it to Schwartz's Mom. He's done this from like his very first show. And he's like, Schwartz's Mom has got it going on. So then somebody recorded this and he says he changed the lyrics and it says, Schwartzy, can't you see? Raquel is not the girl for me because I love Schwartzy's mom. And everybody's like, oh my God, is he saying Raquel is not the girl for me? Like, is he making a statement? And I'm like, you guys, the song is a joke. So he's not even, I think he's just using Raquel's name to use it. There's no hidden meaning. It says, Schwartzy's not for me. Raquel's not the girl for me because I'm in love with Schwartzy's mom. It's a joke. Like, it doesn't mean that him and Raquel are broken up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the fact that what name was he using before?
I think it was Ariana. It's like Schwartzy, can't you see? Ariana's not the girl for me. Da, 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 da. Like it's just he's putting.
Interesting.
It's like Weird Al,
Interesting. Weird Al, you mean Satchel?
Yes. Oh, did you see that thing with Satchel where somebody made a TikTok video where they turned his face into Brian Koberger, the Idaho serial killer guy?
What?
So I was like, who the hell did this? It was
oh my God. Okay, that's too far.
Like, that guy didn't ask for this. Like he's like literally said nothing on screen.
All he was trying to do was date Katie Maloney. And like he didn't sign up for all this scrutiny.
I mean, like people are literally like, he wore socks with sandals. You gotta kill this guy. Like it was like, what? I'm like, we have bigger fish to fry here.
Have you watched Jewish Matchmaking on Netflix yet?
It just came out. Is it good?
I already watched all of it. And yeah, it's great. And as Jewish geography is, I have mutuals with one of the people on the show, which is why I started watching it. I was like, oh, so-and-so is on the show because all Jews know each other, have a connection somehow. And I just thought about that because one of the people on the show wears socks and sneakers on a jet ski and the girl's like, no.
Oh, that's a choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
but anyway, it was really fun. You guys highly recommend.
So, okay, Sandoval's out on tour. Have fun with that if you're going to see it. I just think it is interesting. People are going just because they want to be around the drama. It'll be interesting. I just feel like Sandoval's spending so much money to do all of this.
Yeah, I do worry. He's losing money doing it.
I would have to imagine.
So midlife crisis. Like everything about him.
I don't think his mind, like I would just advise just like stay away for a while. They're starting filming soon. And it's like, you're going to have a whole season of getting your ass kicked, which you deserve. Like take some time to actually check in and don't do it for us. Like don't show us like go arrow hunting and making your friendship bracelets with Kyle Chan. Like I don't need to see it. Like do it, have fun, do it. But like he said, like at his show, I'm 1 month sober and that's amazing, but maybe be 1 month sober and just not let us know about it. Like do stuff for you. Don't do stuff to win us back.
Right. He is spiraling and he also looks really rough.
You don't think like because he's all ripped up, you don't think that's attractive?
It's not just ripped up. He is His face is sunken in. He looks very thin. I don't know. And especially like the yurt episode, you know that there was nothing to do in the desert except hard drugs.
That's what I was saying. I was like, what hallucinogens are these guys?
Hell, you're killing it.
Fuck, he's getting... You know, and Raquel's like dumping buttermilk ranch all over the place. Oh, dude, it's amazing when you drop ranch dressing. Yes. Like anything Raquel, like, oh, Raquel, you farted. Amazing, dude. That's what I'm talking about. And poor Ariana is just sitting there going like, okay, my grandma just died. My dog just died. God. My relationship's about to die.
So much worse. The fact that Ariana is like clearly going through like the worst time already.
Dude, like, if I was Raquel, I would have begged them to not release the rest of the episodes. Like, it was just like, that's the other thing. If this is fake, like some of you guys think, you know, at a certain point, Tom would have broke on Howie Mandel and said, listen, dude, this is all fake. Please, I made a bad decision and I went along with this fake thing.
It's so not fake, you guys. I feel like there's a lot of tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists in the Bravo fan base, and
that's what I said. It's like flat earther territory, and then I offended a bunch of flat earthers.
And I'm like the most skeptical person, where I think that like everything is for PR, and if anyone usually thinks that way, it's me. But it's like this is so just like genuine and real and raw. I just think it's so confusing to me. And I know you said that like, oh, well, they probably just like trusted Raquel, but it's like the fact that they were already on to Raquel and Sandoval in the late summer / early fall, and it didn't break until March. Like,
well, remember though, okay, so, but think about every season of this show, they usually have some kind of sacrificial lamb. So like even Housewives shows, they'll pick like one storyline and everybody will hop on it because they're looking for something to talk about. Like I would say 66% of those things actually turn out to be true on these shows.
Right,
I mean, you know, so like this one just happened to be true. So it's even that more like haunting because everybody's literally talking about it in front of their faces. Even Lala said, even though she had this information, she was still shocked when it turned out to be true. She was like, holy shit, like this actually is true. DJ James Kennedy would have been so livid at Sandoval so much earlier because he can't control his emotions at all. You know, he's like, Tom Sandoval, I'll kill you, you fat fuck. Oh, you fat fuck, Tom Sandoval.
No, you're right. You fat slut.
You fat
man. I think he says that to Schwartz at some point. And like this most
he does. That's his go-to. His go-to is like Randall Emmett's that fat man.
Fat man.
Okay, Summer House. You know, you're still watching Summer House. You're still in, right?
I'm still watching it, but like, I guess what happened this past episode was Lindsay and Carl's engagement.
But also those like little Danielle moments of like, I hope they just have a fucking happily ever after.
She is so pissed.
But it's like, now it's getting weird.
It is weird. It's like, what are you so angry about exactly? Like, because now it's about them not including her. That's what she's saying now. But it's like, why would they include you if you were hating on their relationship from the get-go? Like, why are you so angry? And I think that, I mean, I don't know. I think that part of it may have been that she was hurt she wasn't included, but it's like she also wasn't supportive of them. So like, what does she expect?
Yeah, should they have included Paige DeSorbo at that point?
Right. I think obviously we know about I'm sorry, something just popped up on my boyfriend's computer and I was like, what, who is that? And it was his mom.
It's Raquel. How are you, Sophie, in your office? Is that bitch Sophie there?
Danielle and Robert have since broken up.
Yeah.
But I think maybe part of it is that Danielle is upset that she has been dating her boyfriend for 2 years at this point and they're not engaged yet. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's very, there's no real explanation for it.
But at this point though, when somebody gets engaged and you find out, you need to like get your emotions in check enough to realize cameras are on you and like, you're not part of their story at this moment. So let them have their story and don't try to ruin it. And we see, well, listen, because I do a full recap on the Patreon of these things and I put that up on my stories and Lindsay Hubbard like DM'd me. It was like, what did you say about us? And I was like, listen, I said, listen, you guys use Babe way too much. And I said, Carl in this past episode created a new version of Babe where he said, sweet Babe. He's like, sweet Babe, come hither.
Oh, I didn't
babe.
even notice that, but
towards the end of the episode, he switched from sweet Babe to sweet Babe. Sweet babe.
It was like he couldn't decide if he was going to say sweetie or babe, and he's just like,
sweet. He goes sweetest babe. Like, and I love the variations of the
That's
babe.
my new knockoff lover boy. It's going to be called Sweet Babe.
Sweet. Wait, that's not bad.
I know it's actually not bad. But yeah, I mean, in that moment, it's like no matter what your personal feelings are, in that moment, you have to just let it go, and you have to be happy for your friends. Obviously, if you're not happy for them the literal day that they get engaged, how do you have like any? And she says, what does she say to Kyle when he's like, you need to like, let's try to salvage this. And she goes, there's nothing left.
It's like,
there's nothing left. And it's like, okay, well, now you're guaranteeing that there's nothing left because of your reaction right now. Like,
why are you so shocked if you just had a conversation with Carl where he said, is it true you're shopping for rings? And she's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. And she goes, ah!
She's into a pillow. It's like, what do you expect? You're obviously not going to be a part of the engagement. I think maybe a heads up would have been nice, but like, she hasn't been supportive this whole time. And yeah, I mean,
I like Danielle, but it's like such a bad, bad form. It really, it didn't. Like, I kept thinking there was going to be more information that came out that actually even made us take Danielle's side more. And everything that comes out just kind of like is starting to make her look worse than it could have, because, you know, you just had the option to be like, you know what, I am hurt, but I'm going to put that aside because these two people, you know, right now are in love, and they're, you know, and you're giving Paige like little ammunition because you can see in the trailer for this week, she's like, hee. Yeah. By the way, Paige Zorbo, I said, also, this house isn't called Summer Couch and Summer Bed. It's called Summer House. Get off the couch, get off the bed, get off your phone. The producers need to take all of their phones away the moment they sit.
That would be a freaking show.
Yes.
That would be a show. Take the phones away, because then they'll go insane.
I mean, like, I'm tired of it from the bed and from like, I liked it for a second, but I'm now like, get up, you guys, get up, or we'll find people. You don't even show up. They didn't even have half the cast this week.
Oh my God. And it's also like, at least you have like Sierra and Gabby and Sam, who are like fun and young and single.
Love Gabby and Sam,
they want to go out to Montauk and they want to go party. And Paige never goes. And Amanda obviously never goes either. But like, she has her old ball and chain Kyle. Like, Paige, I know, is dating Craig, but it's like, at least like you are getting paid. Go to Montauk, go to the bar, go get drunk, go be fun.
I shouldn't be like, I never thought I would be in a position where I'm like, oh, thank God Craig's here. You know, like when I'm like, okay, maybe something's going to happen, or thank God Corey's here, or thank God.
Oh my God. I never thought I'd be happy to see Corey from Winter House. But now I'm like, make him the center of the show because he's the only one bringing it. Him and Sam.
I mean, Corey and those, like, they're becoming stars just by default because they actually have a pulse in these scenes. Like the producer must have pulled Maya aside this week and said, listen, we're going to need you to do something or you're out. Because finally I felt like she was like, just finally like talking and making things happen and stuff like that. And she had been dead all season. So it's really interesting. Speaking of insane and interesting, will you explain to the audience this Taylor Swift, Matt Healy, 1975 romance? This guy is like the ultimate Swiftie, showing up at every show this last weekend.
You also deleted the Instagram story. Did Swifties like come after you for your Instagram story?
What story?
It was a story where you tagged me and said that we're going to be talking about it.
I didn't delete it.
You didn't? Oh, I reposted it and then it disappeared. So I thought Swifties came after you. I thought they were like threatening your life.
No, I definitely did. Wait, let me see. I definitely didn't delete it. I don't think anybody else has access to my account.
Well, as long as Swifties aren't coming after you, then like that's
well, now you scared me, but like I'm not like, I didn't say anything negative in that. I just said we and Sophie will be talking about this today. I know.
I feel like it's a touch, like people don't want to believe it because Maddie Healy fucking sucks. And I say that as someone who loves the 1975's music. I really love their music.
A lot of people don't even know who the 1975 is, but it's like a pop rock band that have been around for a long time. They have great, I mean, really, like he's very prolific in his songwriting.
If we could make it.
He has a history of troubling views and like saying a lot of very troubling things.
He did like a Hitler Nazi salute, because there's a lyric in one of his songs that goes, "Thank you, Kanye, very cool." And at the Kanye part, he did a Nazi salute. He's shared anti-Semitic things on Instagram stories.
Anti-Islam,
Islamophobic things. He shared something along the lines of like, "You're dating a Muslim girl," and then boom, like very problematic.
And some of these things were, I believe, to get attention. Like his shows, he'll do like kind of a
edgelord.
Yeah, he's trying to be edgy and like. But I find it interesting if this Taylor Swift Matt Healy thing is true, and it's looking like there is some heat there. There is something happening. I would be curious. And Phoebe Bridgers the same way, because Phoebe Bridgers stands up for a lot of different, a lot of which I think are correct viewpoints. How does she reconcile her feelings with somebody that actually will say some really, really insane, hurtful things? And I don't think a lot of people listening even realize the things Matt Healy has said in the past. I just wonder how these people reconcile this.
He's like an awful person. I'm not happy about it, because as a Taylor Swift fan, I obviously want her to stay on the path of being beloved by the public, because, you know, for a while now, she's been very universally loved by just about everyone. Let's keep it that way. Dating Matty Healy is not the way to do it.
But Sophie, is there this thing, but is there this kind of thing of like, I have been the good girl for too long, it's time to be bad, you know, like, and you know, is this
had her Reputation era? Taylor, you got that out of your system with Reputation. Like, let's just stay on the path of like, you don't have to date like the best. You don't have to date someone as boring and vanilla as Joe Alwyn, but please don't date a guy that does like Nazi salutes. That's like all I ask.
Well, you brought up the Joe Alwyn thing, and like the interesting thing about him and their relationship is that even when he was co-writing some of her songs with her, he went by a pseudonym. He didn't use his real name. He stayed out of trying to get attention from this. And Matty Healy seems like he's running towards attention. So like he was photographed everywhere at every one of those shows. Seemed like he was kind of digging. You know, he's already getting a lot of attention himself, but he seemed like he was really enjoying it. He actually went on stage with Phoebe Bridgers' band as well, opening up. So he's kind of stoking the fire and teasing this, which I think he likes. And did you see that code thing that they did? Like at one of his shows, he talked directly to the video screen of like, you know, "This is for you. I love you," and whispered that. And then Taylor Swift did the same thing. What is up with that?
Weird. That was weird. I'm not going to lie. Like that is hard to brush off.
But you always say that people need to go outside and touch grass. Taylor might need to touch some grass. I don't know if this is, but maybe that's why she
needs to touch grass. Like I've been like way too enamored by all of this.
Well, I mean, listen, Taylor is a person regardless. And I think there's something probably really attractive when you come out of a long-term relationship to have something that, you know, the 1975 and, you know, he's very lauded for his music and stuff, you know, like it must be very exciting for somebody like him to also say how amazing she is. It's not enough that we all say it. Like maybe somebody like him, like, wow, I have a kind of a bad rock boy saying how amazing I am as well.
They've been like friendly and kind of linked to each other in some form since 2015, 2016.
Yeah, they've co-written songs for Taylor before that never actually made it to her album. So I do know they have a working relationship. But I would rather see Taylor with Phoebe Bridgers. I'd rather see her go that way if she desperately needs to be with somebody. You know, don't choose Matty Healy. But what do you think about she also made the announcement at her Friday concert that July 7th will be the next release of Taylor's version. She's doing Speak Now, Taylor's version, July 7th. She is literally a stranglehold on pop culture.
She just like doesn't stop, because it's like she could just like do her. Yeah, she could just stop. I'm happy that she's not, but like she could just work on her masters, like re-recording everything. But instead she's like releasing new music at the same time. It's like, when does she ever just like sit?
I wouldn't that they did a documentary on Netflix, Miss Americana, which kind of showed you a little behind the scenes, but that was years ago. I want to see right now because I truly can't fathom how she lives her life at this moment. It's like nearing Beatles territory where I can't imagine being able to have any kind of real moment anymore. And that's going to be a really scary place to live your life from, even though I know she really appreciates where she is. Did you also see that rumor that supposedly she was releasing her autobiography like 3 days later?
Oh, I did see that. But like, has that been like substantiated or is it just?
It had, well, I mean, if you go down the rabbit hole, there was a couple of like things in like Publishers Weekly or something that like an unnamed book is getting released. And I mean, like if this, if she literally, wouldn't it be great if it's not an autobiography? It's like a fictional, like Twilight type book. It's about vampires.
Fiction. It's fan fiction about Maddie and Healy.
Yeah. She sucked on this man's hairy nipple. It would but like, can you imagine if she does an autobiography too? It's like, she's going to have a stranglehold on music, books.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
She's just never had a hit film yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yet. So she hasn't been like nominated for like an Oscar. She did the music for that one movie where the crowd
Cats? Oh, where the crowd, and she was in Cats, and she was in she was in Amsterdam, that movie that was out. It's on HBO Max that didn't do well with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
She hasn't really been able to find her footing acting wise, but I have no doubt if she found the right vehicle, she could totally do it.
Yeah, true.
What does your dude think of Taylor?
He likes her music. I mean, he's not like going out of his way to listen to it, but like if I'm like, Alexa, put on Mine by Taylor Swift, he'll like be into it.
Okay, so
the best thing that's ever been mine.
5, 6, 7, 8. We'll keep you posted about that. I want to also put on everybody's radar, and you as well, Sophie. Summer House Martha's Vineyard, the first spinoff of Summer House, is airing on Bravo Sunday nights. I got to talk with a couple of the cast members this week. You'll hear it this week. And I really liked the pilot episode. Also, Real Housewives of Atlanta is back as well. And it kind of goes.
Why haven't they advertised it at
It's so
all?
weird. It's not bad either. Like the last 5 minutes of this episode of Atlanta, it's really funny. With She by Sheree has a new boyfriend, Martell, who is a reality star in his own right. Kenya Moore like has some laugh out loud moments. But yeah, it's weird. It's like I almost think they just know that we'll show up. So why advertise?
I don't know though. That's weird to me. I think the lack of advertising, because I didn't even know it was airing tonight until I like saw other people talking about it. And I was like, wait, I haven't seen any official like promos from Bravo, which is strange.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, I liked it. It was a great, and I think this Summer House Martha's Vineyard, give it a chance, you guys. It already was more exciting than this season of Summer House. It's really nice to actually meet new people that you're like, oh, I want to see what's going on here completely. Okay, Sophie, what was your opinion of the Met Gala? You obviously a fashion icon in your own right. What did you think of everything on? Because that was only this past Monday. It feels like it was a month ago.
I know, it feels like 10 years ago. I will echo what I saw on Twitter, which was that Karl Lagerfeld does not deserve this level of dick riding. So hated the theme, but I loved a lot of the looks. Anne Hathaway was like my favorite. I'm trying to think of who else. Dua Lipa looked amazing.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, I love Janelle Monáe's.
Yeah, there were a lot of like great looks. I just hated the theme because Karl Lagerfeld was like low-key a monster. And
see, I didn't know that. I don't know fashion. Like, if you tell me somebody from Old Navy's a monster, I'm like, oh, you're going to ruin my day. But I didn't know Karl Lagerfeld. I didn't know until afterwards. Like I was then like got sent a bunch of articles about this guy, and I didn't realize how like at times anti-women, it was really.
He hated fat people.
He was like, I think Tom Schwartz is a fat suck.
Yeah, like he was just awful. So I did not appreciate the theme, but the fashions were giving. Some of them were.
Sophie, it seems like every fashion. Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, they all have like, I don't know a lot about fashion, but every time I do like start to learn about it, it seems like each one of these big fashion names is embroiled in some sort of insane.
Alexander Wang. I actually have.
Yes, Rape of Young Men.
I actually have the Alexander Wang Rocco bag that I got years ago. And
is that a good bag?
I always loved it. It was like trendy at the time. It's not so in style now, but especially not. I'm like, why the hell did I buy this like nice, expensive bag from someone who was, of course, I didn't know at the time that he was a serial rapist and a sexual predator. But now it's like, damn it, I can barely sell this bag that I spent so much money on for like 60 cents.
Well,
like,
so I mean, that really bottomed out the market for him. Because my fear is that these people still are able to sell millions and millions of dollars of everything, no matter what happens.
Alexander Wang, I know that Lisa Barlow posted like in an Alexander Wang outfit recently. Like people are still wearing him, but like for people that have like a moral conscience, like I like to think myself, I like feel weird wearing it. I don't care about wearing it, and I don't even want to. So yeah, I don't know. Dolce & Gabbana is having like this annoying ass like renaissance, partly because of the Kardashians. And so that's disappointing because of, you know, we know that Dolce & Gabbana, if you guys, do you remember what happened?
In terms of the Kardashians or what they did?
Dolce & Gabbana scandal.
No. What happened?
They had this fashion show in China, and I think it was Stefano made some horrible remarks on social media about Chinese people, and just like they had a super racist campaign, just very anti-Asian, which is such a large chunk of their audience, it turns out, is the Chinese customer. And this was a couple of years ago, and they were kind of, you know, canceled for a couple months probably. And now all of a sudden they're everywhere again because of the Kardashians in part, but also because, you know, people just don't care. And if
isn't that the funny thing, the
celebrities,
Dolce & Gabbana and Stefano used to make fun of the Kardashians. So it's interesting now how they use each other to kind of push their, you know, both of their, what did you think of the Kardashians' output at the Met Gala? Because listen, I'm no fashion, but I was really bored with Kim's look. I thought Kendall looked good because she looked so tall, like a, you know, very, you know, equine and horse-like, very tall, like a tall
very
horse.
Equine and horse-like.
Very, very, very tall and sleek.
Kendall's outfit was such a snooze, especially because she always does do something like crazy, like some sort of like naked dress or some, you know, gorgeous like crystalline gown. So it was disappointing. Her look was Marc Jacobs, and she was wearing these like Jeffrey Campbell-esque platform boots. Kylie looked like it was just like a dress off of Revolve, but it was John Paul Gaultier.
Poor Kylie's face. Like somebody must have told her never smile again, like and just try to do those mystery eyes. And I'm starting to really feel bad for her because I'm like, Kylie, can your face not move, or did somebody tell you not to move your face? Because it's always the look up, with
the eyes, with the bot. She always has to have the bottom whites of her eyes, which is like not
what is that
to have. It's a surgery that she got, and I think Kendall got too. But yeah, her eye, and she cannot smile. She knows that if she smiles, she looks botched. So it's sad existence.
I think Kim's just was like the pearls, like really,
I did appreciate it was reminiscent of her like Playboy cover from season 1 of the Kardashians with the pearls.
Did she ever admit that was inspired by that, or did that?
No, I think that everyone else just made the connection for her. But did you see that Northwest? So she like had photos with North at the hotel, and then she like gets out of the car at the Met Gala, and North gets out, but she's not allowed in the Met Gala, and she's just left there with security guards. Did you see that?
No, I saw her come out of the hotel. I saw her come out of the hotel.
She literally left North on the curb outside.
And I was like, no. Well, I thought she was going to walk when I saw him come out of the hotel. And then I also think Kim was like relieved.
18 plus. I don't think you're allowed.
Good. Thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
Because North wanted to. North wanted to walk.
We don't need North smoking in the Met Gala bathroom just yet.
I don't know. For me, it was like I was waiting for some like more moments for like. And listen, after last year's not debacle, however you want to call it, with Kim and Marilyn Monroe's dress, I was like, who's she going to dig up this year? Like, who's she going to like? What bones is she going to wear? So I was kind of like, It was like just middle of the road for me. And once again, we always ask this question: are the Kardashians? Is their power gone way down? It just seemed like it kind of just everything went back to normal.
I think it's funny because my friend who doesn't even care about pop culture that much was like, it feels like the Kardashians are like becoming irrelevant. And I was like, wait, you don't even care about pop culture and you're noticing that? Like, wow.
Well,
we see it all the time. I think it's just a matter of, are they ever going to reach the peak of relevancy that they once had? No. I just don't think they're ever going to be as relevant again as they were, say, in 2016, 2017.
And I hope they know they don't need to try. Like they're so set for life that they're good no matter what. Speaking of another family that is losing power, there was a coronation of a king this weekend over in England. King Charles. You heard this guy? This King Charles. You hear about this guy?
Is that John Mellencamp's daughter?
It is. Yeah, it's Freddie Mellencamp is Freddie Mellencamp. By the way, Freddie Mellencamp performed at the coronation. He was having a hard time finding people, and Freddie did a live podcast of the Schwartz Pod with Tamra. Very exciting.
Schwartz Pod.
No, I mean this. By the way, just from all, I hate to say like a flop king coronation, but it got very low ratings compared to the Queen's funeral and Harry and Meghan's wedding. Nobody wanted to perform at it except, so you got like, it was Katy Perry performed Fireworks and Roar. You had, I'm trying to think, they had Take That, the British boy band did a song. You had, what's
There's
that?
a British boy band called Take That.
I believe that's what they're called. Take That. Yeah. But they're older now.
Right.
Yeah. And then it was Andrea Bocelli, who he also performed at Courtney and Travis's wedding. He gets wheeled out at all of these events. I don't even think he cares who he's performing in front of. I think this guy just loves performing. Lionel Richie performed. Did you have any thoughts about the coronation at all? Did you pay attention?
No.
Yeah.
I literally didn't watch. I didn't really pay attention. I don't care. It did look like
a lot of fun hats.
Yeah, a lot of fun hats. William, Kate, and Lewis and Charlotte. I saw this on Twitter, so I'm not taking credit for this. That they had big "we fought in the car" energy. Like they looked And Harry like went straight to the airport from the coronation, like didn't even change
to get back for Archie's birthday, his son, right?
Yeah, and then
he dipped. Would you say he dipped out? I gotta dip out, dude.
He dipped out.
Yeah, but he came in just for his dad's big promotion, and then he dipped out, and that's all you can ask from him.
And then he was in the hot tub, and then I asked if he wanted to.
Did you hear Harry was in the hot tub with Tom Sandoval? Ariana was away. Okay, so I like that you're kind of like, you know what, royal thing. I didn't really pay attention.
I just literally don't care. I don't care. I do think it's interesting that Camilla apparently, because she's been divorced, like she would have never been able to be queen usually, but Charles changed the rules for her.
She should have been queen consort instead of queen.
Right. Yeah. So she's the official queen now.
This Charles, like, really, really had a thing for Camilla. By the way, this really is his Raquel. Like, he really,
that was his Raquel. That was his heroine. He wanted to be her tampon. Like, oh my God, that is his queen.
It shouldn't be any of the England's people's queen.
God help anyone who disrespects his queen.
Also, thank you, England, for taking back James Corden. He finished up his talk show last week, right before the Writers Guild strike, so he wouldn't have to pay any of his writers. This guy, a lot of people think James Corden is beloved because he's just everywhere, but he is such a dick behind the scenes from every account. So I'm very ecstatic that he is like pieced out. I'm sure he's like,
his show apparently was losing. What network was it on?
CBS, and it was like
$20 million a year.
Yeah, it was bringing in 40 million in revenue, but the show cost 60 million to make. So
why did it cost that much? It's just some guy.
It's so hard to do carpool karaoke. Like they have to, do the songs.
I guess the talent fees because of the guests that he has, but still, it's crazy.
It really, for that kind of late night show, even if you're viral.
Put me on late night, and I will take a massive salary. I will take his salary salary, but like I'll take literally 0.001%.
I'll write for you for free.
And
like I will. I mean, not Writers Guild stuff, but like, well, that is an interesting thing. Do you know what they're replacing him with?
No, do you?
Yeah, they're redoing. Do you remember the At Midnight, that old Comedy Central show where it was like Twitter feed stuff? And it would be like,
no.
Like Chris Hardwick, I think, hosted it back in the days on Comedy Central, but it was a Twitter show. It was called At Midnight, and it would be like funny Twitter games, and they're replacing it with that.
Oh,
but it's going to be for a while. So they're not going to even have they're not doing a talk show format anymore at that time slot. They're putting
interesting.
It is, but if you remember At Midnight, it's a little cringy, and also it's a little too in bed with Elon Musk for my liking. Here's another thing I wanted to talk to you about as we start winding down. Did you hear this Chris Brown even makes skate parties dangerous?
Oh my God, please. Someone needs to like arrest him.
Well, so Chris Brown had a birthday and Usher threw him a roller skating. Chris Brown threw him a roller skating birthday party, which is just, I don't know. I like roller skating.
It's actually hilarious.
It's funny. Yeah.
Who threw the birthday party for who?
Usher threw it for Chris Brown.
And they ended up, Usher literally threw his birthday party and then he like punched him.
Well, yeah. So we see this a little bit in the clips is Teyana Taylor, who's a musician. And also, I guess she's like a designer in terms of like a lot of these recording artists. She's like helping with design now as well. And there was some issue with Teyana Taylor and Chris Brown. And Chris Brown was trying to like yell at Teyana Taylor for ignoring him. And Usher kind of like, hey man, chill out. And allegedly, like supposedly hit Usher in the nose, like really like roughed him up. And this is the guy that threw the roller skating party. You don't invite somebody to a roller skating party, like throw one for him and then get hit. And then
this was a classy party.
It's a roller skating. How do you make a roller skating party tough like that? Like, why are you're on roller skates?
And then it happened again.
At the music festival in Vegas, at the Lovers and Friends Music Festival, Chris Brown performed during the daytime. Usher was one of the headlining sets at night. And after Chris Brown said at night, we have like video recording of him get into a fight with somebody else. This dude has not changed. Like, I'm sorry. He could like, this guy is the same. It seems like he is that same guy that beat the shit out of Rihanna like all those years ago. This is the same dude.
Why is it so impossible for him to just like not be violent?
Well, because I think it's something in him. Like there's something in him that he has not rehabbed or not worked on.
Get him off the streets. That's what we need to do.
But I will, it's like, but also the fact that he has a fan base is really, I mean, I know in today's day and age, I shouldn't be shocked, but I'm still shocked. Like I get, like I'm just shocked.
It is shocking. It's shocking, but not shocking at the same time. And also like, Chloe Bailey just did like a collab with him.
Yeah.
And she was like, people always like say shit no matter what I do. So it's like, I just need to not listen. It's like, but this is like a very valid, like, issue that people have is that you are collaborating with an abuser. It's like, how is he still getting these high profile like gigs and collaborations and friends? It's like, it's all very disturbing.
Did you see those videos?
It wasn't just the Rihanna thing or the other Usher thing. It's literally year after year after year after year. There's an incident with him.
Did you see those videos of him overseas, like trying to sneakily do bumps off his hand at a club?
Oh my God. I love that. He was like,
it was like, and then he did his bad, like pop and lock, like Sandoval does.
Oh my God.
Okay. Also, I wanted to, in terms of what we're watching this week, I did try out the first episode of Bupkis, which is Pete Davidson's show on Peacock. I unfortunately watched it with my mother, and in the first episode, he's whacking off and his mom catches him. Also, they talk about threesomes in the first episode, and it was a very uncomfortable watch with my mom. But also, I will say, I didn't just really, regardless of that, I didn't think it was that good. Hopefully, it gets better. Are you going to watch this?
I saw it, and I was like, for a second, I was like, should I watch this? And I was like, I don't want to like keep feeding Pete Davidson's ego. Like, I can't give him the views. I'm sorry. I just can't get behind the Pete Davidson thing. I think that he's so not funny. So not interesting. I don't care about Pete Davidson, but I did watch Jury Duty. I've watched it twice now.
Dude, I kept the soaking scene. Didn't you crack up?
Yes.
They finally brought soaking into like
James Marsden is the jumper.
So good. Dude,
this is so funny, you guys. I can't get over it.
I think I'm having Ronald on soon, the lead. And he signed with CAA. He signed with the biggest agency out there. And so I was DMing with him and he's like, yeah, like, it's so funny. He's like, I'm passing all of your stuff on to Amazon. I'm in New York this week. And it's like, this dude went from nothing to like a star overnight. By the way, if you haven't seen Jury Duty, it's on Amazon Freevee. You can get it on Amazon Prime. Two of the actors were on 2 weeks ago, and it's just so good. It's like really heartwarming in a weird way, but funny.
It is, because he's such a genuinely great guy.
Like, if he was bad, it wouldn't have worked.
Right. Like, he's just genuinely a great guy who was so patient and kind and just like so pure. And he's so pure, he didn't even realize what was going on. They were in character for weeks on end and he had no idea. That's why it was interesting to me. I can't remember where I read this or where I saw it, but like one of the questions when they were screening for like the Ronald, they were trying to choose their hero, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They had to make sure they weren't fans of like Nathan For You or Jackass or Impractical Jokers, because those are the people that would like sniff it out. I feel like I probably would have sniffed it out also because I would have been like, James Marsden would not be acting like this.
No, well, I mean, James Marsden plays James Marsden, or this version of him, excellently.
I know, it's so funny. And
it might be my favorite thing he's ever done, which is so weird to say.
I know, same. I would have recognized, what's his name from Sex Lives of College Girls. It's Noah, but I can't remember the
Wait, which guy?
Noah.
I don't watch Sex Live, and I don't watch other girls' sex lives.
He's Noah in Jury Duty. He's the glasses.
Oh, the guy that gets in the soaking relationship.
Yeah, the soaking. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really, I mean, it turned out so well. And I want to point out to people saying like, oh, they should do more of those if the Writers Guild strike, if it continues. No, because even those, there's writing involved in that.
Oh, they have to do a shit ton of writing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like writing across the board is needed. And
yeah, that's why they were
support
rehearsal. What were they rehearsing that one day? If it weren't something that was being written, like they were rehearsing for a reason.
I mean, it was just so well done. Also, I wanted to remind people, July 16th is going to be the new season of Real Housewives of New York, the rebooted Real Housewives of New York. We should get a trailer here pretty soon. The Real Housewives of Orange County trailer was like blah. It was like whatever, but that's coming up in June. Did you see the Orange County trailer?
Yeah, I was intrigued by it, actually. Intrigued.
What were you intrigued by?
Shannon's relationship.
With John Jansen. I'm John Jansen.
I'm intrigued by, it seems like Shannon and Tamra, there might be some drama there. Tamra's return. The blonde newbie looks fun. Yeah. I'm kind of intrigued. I'm always going to watch Heather Dubrow. I'm intrigued about Tamra's return. Again, it's like, I feel like it could go either way because she's so thirsty and desperate to like be back on the show. It's like, what is she going to do? She's so
in the trailer, it looks like she's pushing too hard because she's like immediately. So I just hope she like takes her foot off the gas a little bit.
I'm interested in seeing how she like handles it, because I feel like inside she's probably like, yes, I'm fucking back, baby.
And they're filming Real Housewives of Beverly Hills right now. Did you see the video? Well, so Erica Jane announced a residency at House of Blues Bar and Grill in Vegas. And did you see the video this week of her going on stage and looking out at the empty seats?
No,
you need to see.
Wait, it was like all empty seats.
Well, she's looking like it's like a triumphant video of like kind of like look at the place that I have to entertain these people. Yeah, okay. Well, no, it wasn't even a dress rehearsal. It was just a promotional video of her walking out and going like, yeah. I'm gonna rock this whole crowd.
I hate when people do that. It's so annoying. Like, shut up. They do like the cheesy, like, wow.
But it was like, but he looks out and it's like, I think there's a capacity of like 250. So it was just, it's like, it's
okay,
it's not Dodger Stadium.
I'm looking at it now. She really does look so freaking skinny now.
I'm telling you, those Ozempics work.
She's definitely on Ozempic. 1000%.
Isn't it hysterical though? Like she's like taking it like she's Lady Gaga.
I know. Like, who do you think you are, bitch?
Also today this happened. Shakira and Tom Cruise were talking at the F1 racing big hullabaloo in Miami, Florida.
Ooh, new couple alert.
I know, Shakira and Tom Cruise. Like that would be like, he's got to like kind of land somebody just to, you know, try to build off the success of Top Gun. So keep an eye out for that. I also want to recommend the TV show The Other Two, which their new season landed on HBO Max. You've watched The Other Two, haven't you?
No, but I've heard good things.
Oh my God, you will. It's so funny. It's by one of the two head writers of SNL from like 5 years ago when I thought SNL was like really, really good. These two writers, but it's really, really funny. I think especially you being from New York now, you would love it. Also be prepared for the press overtaking of the Fast and Furious Part 10, the Fast Family, as it were.
Oh, it was already on. I forgot. Do you watch Top Chef?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch the Fast and the Furious sponsored episode? It was the mise en place race.
Yeah.
I love their SponCon. They have the best sponsored content. They get so creative. That's like my dream job, maybe, is being the person that comes up with, because I've worked in branded content and in marketing before, like coming up with ways to like tie in the advertiser. It's so funny what they do. AI is
going to take your job. AI is going to take that job.
It already is like taking everyone's job. So
actually, Top Chef is funny because it's that one show that is so good, but it's almost, you have to like try to pretend it's not on. Like, it's so weird that it's on Bravo because it is so not Bravo as much as it's Bravo. It's really like Tom Colicchio. Like, by the way, we could never have like a Colicchio of all. Like Tom, like what if Colicchio like cheated with like Padma and like what? Like what?
I read a blind item. Oh my God, I read a blind item once that Tom Colicchio and Gail like have had an affair before. Again,
knocked boots.
Allegedly, purely spectacle, like this speculation, pure speculation. But yeah, that's interesting. I love Tom Colicchio on Watch What Happens Live when he admitted that he like had no idea what Scandoval was. And I was like, this is your network, bitch.
But that's so pure. It is so pure if you don't know.
Tom Colicchio. Of course he doesn't. That was the same episode where he said he had to choose between cheese and oral sex. He had to give up one for life. And he was like,
oral sex.
He gave up cheese because he couldn't give up oral sex for life. Like,
for some reason I read that as he gave up oral sex because cheese is so good.
No, he gave up cheese.
I wonder where I would go with that. I think I might give up the oral sex. Cheese is so good.
I think I would give up oral sex also and just be like, okay, I'll just do like regular sex and maybe some digital penetration.
Yes. Yeah, that's the way to go because
finger banging.
Okay. Anything else that you're watching? Are you caught up with Yellow Jackets? What are you and your dude watching?
Yellow Jackets is like, this season is just like so off the rails.
They gotta find their footing. Like I don't know. And I don't want to be a hater because I love the first season so much, but I just watched the new episode that they air the new episodes on streaming like on Fridays now. And, it was like the birth of the baby and all of this. And I just feel like the tone is like they're leaning so into wacky tone that it's almost not
right.
It's not balancing.
The only present day storyline I care about is like Scheana and Callie, her daughter, like the whole murder investigation. Like in terms of like Lottie's cult, I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with Misty and Elijah Wood. I just like, it's hard for me to get into the present day scenes other than the ones with Scheana.
Well, because they're all separated too. Like this group of women aren't all together. So finally at the end of this week's episode, they all come together at the very end. You see, and I'm like, okay, hopefully this will actually kind of, but also with the Lottie and her like cult, I was just in my mind, I was picturing it going such a different way. So I think I'm coming to terms with it. Oh, it's not coming out the way I wrote it in my head, which is so really weird to say. Also, guys, check out the article they wrote on Liz Elizabeth Holmes in the New York Times today. It's completely ridiculous.
I bookmarked it, but I haven't read it yet. And
even the writer is trying to it's like a sympathetic portrayal, but even the writer you can tell is uncomfortable with it. So it's a really interesting read. I thought that was interesting. Anything else that you're watching right now?
Again, I watched Jewish Matchmaking.
No Liam Neeson movies? No new nothing on the action front. Wait, is your boyfriend going to make you see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that just came out?
He wants to, but I don't want to.
You got to take a bullet for one of these movies. Like, you got to do it.
But like the problem with all of these like sequels, I want to be able to get invested, and it's hard for me to get invested when I like don't know what's going on, you know?
There's like a tree named Groot,
Guardians
and there's
of
like
the Galaxy Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like just learned that today.
Oh man.
I thought it was a separate like universe. I don't know.
Don't say this kind of shit around him. This is not going to help.
Black Mirror episodes, new ones come out like
when?
Wait, Black Mirror. It's season 6.
I saw the trailer. They teased
Black
the trailer.
Mirror, new season, and I watched. Oh, you know what I have been watching is Love and Death. It's the story of
Elizabeth
Candy
Olsen,
Montgomery.
right?
Love and Death on HBO. It's the story of Candy Montgomery, who murdered her neighbor whose husband she was having an affair with, and Jessica Biel was already in a show about that with Melanie Linsky, Scheana from Yellow Jackets, but this one is Lily Robb and Elizabeth Olsen and Jesse Plemons.
Oh,
and
wow,
I've been going back and watching old Black Mirror episodes because it's been so long since we've gotten new ones. And I love USS Callister with Jesse Plemons.
Dude, that was such a good, by the way, if you haven't watched Black Mirror, it's like an updated Twilight Zone, but better for people in the technological age. And each episode is so well done. I don't think there's a bad Black Mirror episode, but this new season, I guess each one is like its own individual movie, even more so than the previous season.
Oh, I'm so excited. So apparently it comes back in June.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Anything else coming up for you personally, Sophie? What do we need to know?
Nothing.
Weddings,
much, guys.
You're going to more weddings.
Tons of weddings coming up. Tons of traveling and stuff like that. So just trying to like keep my life in order. And
if your boyfriend ever asked you to marry him, would you want a beach proposal like Lindsay and Carl?
Babe,
7 years. Friends, babe, what is this? Babe, this picnic, babe.
I don't know. I should like ask him what he's planning.
That's a good idea. Please, maybe if he does ever plan on something, I would like to. I wonder if he's going to ask my permission to ask for your hand. It's probably going to be maybe if I could do that. If I could record that too, that would be amazing.
If he doesn't ask you, you're going to be like Danielle, and you're going to be like.
Yeah. I'm not even coming to the podcast next week. I hope they have a really fucking great life in their cloffice. Sophie Ross, ladies and gentlemen, you can find her on Twitter, on Instagram. She really is one of the best people online and on this show. So go support, and we'll keep you posted with any new Sophie updates. And I'm sad this is over, so I'm going to go back to my life now.
Oh, me too. Best hour of the week.
Woo! Woo!